Coming in here with semifinals day 2, Amped versus TPR. It's been a little bit of a wait. We were waiting on Nozumi and he never showed, so they're bringing in Starstro. Um,
Did he just not get on?
I don't know. I assume they had to push it back because of Nozumi, but I don't know where he's at. But I have no clue.
Okay.
They didn't communicate any of this very well with me. I didn't even know
Yeah,
that they had pushed it back until like
yeah,
yesterday.
yeah. I was gonna say yesterday when Prism decided
In the
to jump
middle
on
of his
her.
stream, they're just talking about it. It's like, what do you mean? Is that 3? No, it's not.
Hey, by the way, we're switching one of the games being played.
All right. Well, it looks like both teams are ready, so we are going to be moving in here with Amp versus TPR. Woohoo! Semifinals day 2.
Yeah. Another hopefully fun series. Oh,
Hopefully.
it'll be the slow versus the fast. Like kind of seems like that seems to be the theme of the top two teams is slow versus fast. Like in pretty much the worlds, it was like that. Last season, it was like that, and now today we have it again. TPR being the more controlled style, Amp being the more we're gonna run you over style.
Yeah. Amp, in general, just a little bit more refined with their playstyle as well. And they've got it kind of figured out pretty decently, I'd say. TPR kind of just play and then win on occasion, which works out for them most of the time. That's why they got the 4th seed, why they are here up against Amp. But it's going to be a little bit harder for them up against Amp, who is, again, a bit more of a controlled style. Or not the controlled, but like a defined style.
Yeah. Twitch and Braum obviously being pretty standard against Awu and Samuel.
Yeah, especially the Twitch. Don't want to see that get through. Every time it does, the teams typically lose. It's like when you let Bard through for Slash Andy.
Yeah.
It's basically the same thing.
And then you realize immediately why it should be banned.
It's like, yeah, maybe I should have hit that button to ban that thing instead of the other thing.
Yeah.
But we are going to see the Recon first picked up for Starstro.
It's kind of interesting that they still decide to go with the Rakan, because I know Starstore does still play, but I don't think it was one of his greatest picks compared to Nazumi's.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say because it is definitely Nazumi's best support in my opinion. But in general,
Oh
it's
yeah,
also just one of the best supports. I'd say Rakan and Alistar are probably the 2 best supports in the game right now.
yeah,
Just based on like the way that the meta is shaping up to be, where it's just heavy aggression, right? So having the Rakan, the fastest engage of any supports, closely followed up by Alistar, very, very important in that situation. But it does leave the Kai'Sa and the Aurelia open for Awu in 15, which is going to make Amp's life really freaking hard. And we do see the Zaya come through.
yeah. I think my board is taking a shit. I think I need to get a new board. It lasted long enough. I don't know if you even realized that I DC'd for a little bit there and then I stopped talking.
It sounded like I heard a microwave going off
uh,
or like being open and closed. I couldn't really tell.
yeah,
But
I was sitting here listening to you and you just randomly stopped talking. I'm like, wait, what happened?
no,
And
I
looked
actually
away.
just stopped talking.
Uh,
Yeah, I didn't have anything to say. But
yeah,
Urgot made it through for Spoder. That's really terrifying.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see really like how much he's been practicing on Urgot because I know he has played it in the past. It's never really been too strong of his one of his picks compared to like the Garen,
Yeah.
but
I mean,
we'll have to
he
see.
hasn't played it a whole lot to really show us if it's one of his top tier. It is by most people considered to be the best character in the game right now, just because of
Yeah,
how oppressive he is, how tanky, how much damage he can do, and the CC that he brings with his ultimate. Um, and there's very few characters that can actually match up with him in lane. Some people use Lissandra with Aftershock as a neutralizing pick, but even then, it's just a neutralizing pick, right? You don't win that lane.
yeah,
You just stop him from beating you. So, we'll have to
yeah.
see.
Top lane this year has definitely been a very interesting series of picks. Like it's definitely by far probably the most champions I think I've ever seen played in a single lane. At
Yeah,
least for top. Like there's so many top lane champions that can get played right now if you actually know how to play them all.
right.
Whereas like in the past, like it used to just be like only one of three things. Now it's like, oh, you could play this, you could play this. Mostly right now, it is pretty much just two champions, with Urgot and Aatrox being the top two. Which really blows my mind that Aatrox is up there, but I guess he's back to how he was from the start of his rework when everybody was like, "Oh, he's a god. He got reworked.
Well,
Let's use him to engage."
everyone thought he was trash, and then they realized, oh wait, no, this champion's actually really good.
Yeah,
And that was after they buffed him, right? He was already good, and then they buffed him because people thought he was trash, and they was like, wait a second, this guy's already freaking good. So they nerfed him to worse than he was on release, and he was still top tier. So they nerfed him even more, and people thought he was trash again. And now they're finding out, wait, no, this champion's kit is still very impressive, still very good, and so he's
yeah,
still in the meta despite being worse than he was on release, and people thought he was hot garbage on release.
yeah. And it's not even that they thought he was garbage. I think people at that time too just didn't really understand like that's what he was meant to do. Like he was just meant to press and then zone. Like he was never really meant, at least on the new kit, to just be like, I'm gonna run you down and kill you type champion. I mean, he can do that,
He definitely
but
can.
especially when it comes to team fights, though, he is always just like a zone. He's almost like a zone mage. It's weird because
Yeah.
he's a fighter, but like that's just how his kit is.
Yeah, they don't release a whole lot of AD casters anymore, so it's really cool to see him coming through. Sonic covering that Victor, I really don't expect it to be the full tank Victor top, but he might actually lock that in. Now, it's going to end up being the Renekton into the Urgot. Um, should still be a pretty interesting matchup. I give this over to Urgot still in terms of power, but we'll see what Sonic can actually get done with it.
Yeah, especially being Renekton too. I don't know if I've actually seen him on Renekton at all this split so far.
I think we, I think he's done it a couple times, and he's done okay on it.
Hmm.
I don't think it's as staple as his Nautilus, but it's still pretty good.
Yeah. Well, Nautilus is obviously always going to be his first pick.
Yeah.
So that seems to be one of the top ones that he goes with. It's kind of interesting that they didn't go with it, but it must struggle really hard into the Urgot, so they probably don't want to do that. I'm kind of more surprised that they did decide to go with Renekton, though, because I feel like Renekton would still struggle just as much as Nautilus and Urgot, just because, like, pretty much everything Renekton does is allow Urgot to get damage off, so it's like there's nothing you can really do to avoid the amount of damage he puts out, unless like you get a gank off and like you somehow get the lead off the gank.
Yeah, Renekton should kind of have a he should have a bit of advantage up until maybe level 7 or 8, I think. But after that, unless he's hard steamrolled, it should go straight into Urgot's favor.
Yeah. Are we doing over under?
I was just loading up stream elements. What do you want to do?
Uh, first game win.
Mm, it's more fun to do game wins when it's close and on the line.
Yeah, but I mean it's the first game.
Yeah, let's find something else.
You know, maybe that's one thing we should do. We should like have like a notepad of like all the over-unders we've done, so that way we like know like what's been more repetitive.
Right.
and maybe like tally down the ones that get used.
Yeah. Oh, we'll definitely have some more pre-production next season.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say kills at 15.
sure. At 15,
Say
10 and a half?
I was gonna say 8, but yeah, 10. Let's just go with, yeah, 10.5. Yeah, that works.
Yeah, with these two teams, it can go either way. TPR has always been up in the air with that, but especially with AMP, it's like,
Ooh, that is not correct. 110.5 kills. Nope.
oh gosh. Hold on, let me bet everything on I mean, like, has there even been that many kills in one of our games yet?
Not even in the 50-minute games. No.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
god.
that's what I was saying, Andy. No over trust. Jesus. I mean, is it even possible to get that many? Even like if you hard int it, is it possible to get that many at 10?
Not at 10. Probably not. I don't think there's enough respawn time. You'd have to be sitting right outside their fountain at level 1, where there's like a 3-second respawn time.
Yeah, and then it like slowly scales from there. I don't even still think you would get that many. You might get 20, but
Oh god.
even 20 is pushing it.
110 kills at 15. Let's get it.
I suppose we should make sure that that's the current bet now. How do you check it again?
It's up there. You just say exclamation point contest.
Oh, okay. Okay.
All
How many
right.
points do I don't even remember how many points I have. I think it's low. The last time I checked, it was like 2,000. But everything on DOV coming back for the final, and I got sad. They didn't do it. Also, I got dared to though, so it's kind of that person's fault. Oh look, there he is. He's jungler for the team that's on top. He was flaming me, telling me I don't ever go all in.
All right. So, besides the Aftershock Recon, most of this looks pretty standard. I think typically you take, I think Guardian or Aerion Recon. I could be wrong on that though. I'm probably wrong.
Mostly you take Guardian.
Okay.
You mostly take it just because obviously since you can jump from person to person if they take damage, it's an easy proc.
Right. It's very easy to proc. That's what I thought.
Some people take what is that one in Inspiration?
Spellbook?
Not Spellbook. The
What?
slow.
Oh, I've never seen Glacial Augment Recon. That would be very bizarre.
I've seen it a couple times. It's always been weird, but I mean it does work. It's obviously not optimal, but yeah, majority of the standard is Guardian.
That's what I thought, and it makes sense. So we'll see how that plays out. It will let him kind of dive in and get hit by CC and not instantly blow up, which should help him a little bit. But their laning power is going to be a little bit lower because they won't have that extra shield. So
Yeah.
I'm also going to be keeping a pretty big eye on the mid lane. 15 did get voted second best MVP of the split, going up against a Carcion. Carcion was a fairly late comer to the league. Came in around week 8, I think. Wow, I haven't had the client fail on me in a long time. That's new.
Yeah, I think that's been like that since the most recent patch. So whatever they did.
It's the
just
first
kidding.
time I've had it happen this patch.
I thought you said it hasn't, and then like I thought it wasn't gonna happen, and then I was like, oh look, it happened.
No, yeah, I was like it happened, and I was like, wow, it's been a while.
Yeah, I'd say it's been at least since this most recent patch is when it stopped happening.
Yeah, this is the first time this patch hasn't happened to me. But again, they broke the rest of spectators, so I'm not like happy about it.
Yeah, like here, let's fix this, and then break everything else. Make it so that it's just unbearable to spectate for other people that want to do, things like the LCS. But obviously, the LCS doesn't want that to be a thing, so because they're trying to destroy us with their horrible spectator. That's still better than like every other game. I really wish they could do like a spectator for Rainbow Six. I know it's possible, and I can guarantee it's probably a way of doing it. But for whatever reason, Rainbow Six can't ever figure out how to do it, and it's always like so cancerous to watch.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
But it looks like standard defense on both sides, except for Amp. For some reason, they think it's a good idea to leave the bottom part of your map unguarded. Oh no, that's Rakan down there.
Yes,
Okay.
that is.
I actually never realized that Aurelia comes out of base on one full sword.
Yep. Yep, sure.
Like,
That's kind of what all those, what is that called, like Divine Sword? All of them just like ride swords. The Talon rides a giant sword for some reason, though he doesn't have a giant sword. Actually, that skin he does have a sword. Normally he's got like a small little like shank on the like end of his fist, but that skin he actually has a full sword, which makes no sense.
Yeah. It's like, where's that sword when she like uses her ult? Like, they should just have her like bring that out when she ults, and then like have her start swinging it around.
Right, just go full Trinity mode on, just thwap, thwap, thwap. It's pretty nice of Amp to start leashing this for the Trundle early. It's a little bit of a shame that they took so many hits from it. This will actually let TPR know where Bliss started because they're so low. But on the same side, Sonic did tank a couple hits from the red buff, so both.
Also on top of that too, they almost stayed longer than what TPR did. I mean, TPR already has an experience advantage, and I think they actually did lose a creep too. So
yeah,
they're not going to hit level 2 at the same time that TPR is.
It's definitely an advantage over to TPR down there, which will be pretty big. Zyracon is a fairly oppressive lane duo, so having that early shove and the early advantage down there going to be really helpful. Trundle, though, is going to be on a collision course with the Sejuani here. Seeing her around, he's not going to push too hard for this, but again, still advantage over to TPR.
I was going to say, it almost kind of looked like he wanted to do like a level 2 there, which would have been interesting to see, especially for a Trundle, because normally you don't see that too much from him, but I guess he might have just been trying to go for Scuttle 2 and then ended up not being able to do it, obviously because of Prism already being there and taking the extra long route around, and he actually got both Scuttles too, so he went Red Scuttle and went Blue Scuttle, so...
Red Scuttle is still alive.
Is it? Oh yeah, it is. Okay, that's a ward. I thought he got both.
Nope.
They legit have the same symbol as a ward. Look at the map.
Well, I know, but you can also still see the camp indicator on the map too.
I know. I just didn't see that. I looked to see if there was a ward, and there was a ward.
Open your eyes, DHA.
It was literally in the same spot. Okay. So he's still got it, and looks like he's going to try to get the Wraiths too, possibly.
Yeah, going for a pretty aggressive thing there, but now Gummy's getting super low. That Ignite's actually just going to straight up take the kill as Samuel and Awu, ever since they started doing this dual lane together, smashed him pretty hard. We saw...
Yeah, definitely been one of the more solid duos that I've seen, at least in the finals. Like, you see duos like Gummy and Izumi, like, other than those two, and then Awu and Samuel... Like, those have probably been, like, the two biggest duos that have been pretty solid other than Battlecast.
Yeah, I mean, I still think that Battlecast is the best bot lane duo in the tournament right now. I think Andy and King D are just uncontested. But
is it a duo or is it a trio?
They don't get camped very much. They just have bard things.
It could be a trio.
It could be a trio if you count Faithful.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's why it's a trio.
Yeah, but...
they always alternate.
Yeah, but I definitely think... I mean, Awu had a very, very, very difficult early parts of the season. He was heavily underperforming for the first, like, 6-7 weeks, I would argue. So, yeah. and I think part of that is despite Revolutionarian, who got second best support in the league, despite him being a very good support, I think that they just didn't mesh very well. And for some reason, I think there's something different about Samuel and the way that he works with Awu that just makes the spot lane seem a lot better.
Yeah. Which is one thing you hate to see, because, like, a lot of the times, like, you feel like you can have, like, the one player, like, just be able to carry the lane, but then it's like, you find out that the other player is obviously not being able to, like you said, mesh with that other player.
Yeah, he's going just a little bit too aggressive here, but trying to find his way back in with the Zenith Blade. A little bit of a bad trade for Samuel.
Yeah, but they still got some damage off, so it wasn't entirely worse, and he still had 2 pots to go with that, so it's not too bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like the worst thing that could happen, but still not really what you want to see, and it could have gone a lot worse for him because there was still an Ignite 4-star show, but it didn't get used, and still just this bot lane is overwhelming. They are up so much CS right now. 23 CS lead right now for Awu, and
Wow.
yeah.
How does that happen?
I don't know. One, I think Starstro and Gummy don't play bot lane together like ever. So I don't know. They might, but I mean they are a bit of a sub squad. Here comes Bliss though. Nice pillar. As now the grand entrance from Starstro trying to lock up Samuel. He does have flash if he needs to get out. The Ignite is burning down. Are they able to find the kill? No, not quite. The Zenith Blade not gonna connect for the return, but TPs are coming through from Renekton. How is he able to find? He gets the stun onto the Rakan. The permafrost stacking up, but doesn't quite land. Now Gummy Bull's in a little bit of trouble. No flash for him. He goes down. A nice blade color though. As Samuel's getting really low, still trying to run away. As Sonic does get hit by the permafrost. Not gonna go down yet. As this fight is just exploding. So many low health bars, but a minion wave here is giving a lot of advantage over to TPR. They can look for the dive as Sonic. He's going to flash in with the dominance. He gets the Q. He's going to find the kill. Now Bliss, the next one to fall, but the Fear Beyond Death is going to pull in Samuel. It's just a trade kill, though. Still win for TPR in that trade. They're going to go straight to the Infernal, and with basically a 2k gold lead and an Infernal, this is looking like pretty good game right now for TPR.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that. I forgot that Leona was that low. I guess nobody even thought that Urgot was really a part of that fight, but still being able to at least turn around at least one kill and get something out of that. But yeah, that was definitely a misplay by Amp. A lot of their members were still low from the initial engagement that they had, and they were already running. So even though it was a 4v4, TPR still had the advantage in health bars. So you thought that they would probably just disengage that, but still sticking around, and TPR getting the dive off and actually doing it very well too. Like none of them got low, none of them died other than Leona off the back of the Urgot ult. But they basically got in, got out, and got Dragon. So.
Yep. Just complete advantage for the TPR squad. They are winning bot lane so hard. It's a 22 CS lead, 3 assists onto Awu, lots of kills going over. And even then, right, they're winning mid lane in farm. They're up a little bit farm there with the Aurelia, who will theoretically be popping off in these fights. 10 CSD for Renekton, but I don't think he minds that too much, having a kill and 2 assists for himself. He feels
yeah, and I
just
think that's
fine.
mostly just a lane difference too. You know, again, being Urgot into Renekton, he probably just can't duel him too early on. Probably takes a little bit more health back in trades than he would like to, so he's probably just getting zoned off most of the farm.
Yeah, and oh my gosh, Akarsian gets all in by 15, and that was so much damage out of nowhere. She doesn't even have Sheen yet, but he's just able to one-shot kill the Vladimir. No sustain's going to help him there. The Ignite nature of that.
Yeah, that's just not respecting the Q bounces. You got 2 Q bounces off of 2 minions, got 1 reset off his W, got the stun, and then ulted. Like, you gotta just back off if she keeps bouncing back and forth.
Yeah, no, man, like Bliss, he does have flash, but he's still getting really low. This is touted as one of the best mid lane jungle duos in Aurelia and Sejuani. The lockdown potential is so strong. They find Bliss going over aggressive in that jungle, and this is looking really, really bad for Amp right now.
Yeah, Bliss, I mean, still doing what he's known for, but you also got to think of like where your lanes are at too. You can't always just get away with that. I think most teams at this stage are probably used to just Bliss invading, so he's going to have to figure out how and when he's going to be able to do that. Because pretty much all season long he did that to teams. He was just randomly invade and steal their farm, or like even invade and try to fight them.
Yeah, and just especially when you're down this much, like, how much can you really get in an invade right now? Sonic is looking for an all-in out of Spoder. The Ignite does come down with that spellbook. Now Spoder in a little bit of trouble. Doesn't land the Fear Beyond Death. He doesn't have flash either. Disdain not available. The Permafrost is going to land. That's going to be a big chunk of damage as Sonic gets another stun off. He's burning low, and oh my gosh, he is just dead.
Yeah, after missing that Urgot ult, he really just couldn't do much after that. He honestly should have just tried to run if he can, or if he could, unless he was just getting perma-CC'd, but unfortunate. TPR doing a good job, though. Sejuani able to come up, and then also on top of that, Renekton getting the kill, too. So really, all of their solo lanes now are just smashing.
Yeah, every single one of them are just absolutely dominating. There is almost a 4,000 gold lead right now. It's sitting at about 3.5k, and they are just going in. They're turning around onto Bliss. He doesn't even think that he can get out. He's trying to run nice pillar to get out of theirs. Again, 15 going all in onto a Carcion. Not going to use his ultimate quite yet, but I imagine it will be pretty soon once his Q's back up.
Yeah, and they must have been working on their solo.
Ooh, he lands the stun. He's going to go in for the Q. The ult, not quite yet. But now he's going to flash in. He's able to get it. No, the auto camera's not swapping, which means he definitely didn't get it. Still forcing a lot out of a Carcion.
Yeah, really nice flash to dodge the ult. He had that ult landed. He was definitely a dead man. But now Bliss is still trying to come in, but he's 2 levels under this Irelia. If he tried to fight that, I'm pretty sure Irelia still wins. Despite him having the Trundle ult.
Yeah, and I think part of this is we are feeling a little bit of those Trundle nerfs. They did hurt him quite a bit a patch or two ago.
Yeah.
And it was seen as like one of the biggest counter picks to Sejuani, who also, by the way, got hit with a really hard nerf. Both of these champions are not the prime picks for their roles anymore. But I still think that Sejuani is in a better place because she has more gank options, even if she's not as strong as she was.
Yeah, even if she doesn't do damage, though, too, you know, like you're seeing, like, at the same time, too, you have to account for all the amount of CC that she has. I mean, literally, she has pretty much almost five options of CC. She has her auto attacks, which proc her E, and then she has her Q, and then she has her ult, and then she has all the allied auto attacks that also proc her E once her E gets on somebody. So it's like, her kit in general is just really good versus Trundle, where while it used to be good, I don't think it's really going to be the greatest anymore just because there is so much CC on the side of TPR.
Yeah.
Like, even if you get a really good ult off, like, you look at the CC on TPR compared to the CC that's on AMP, like, they have way more hard CC that's going to be able to lock down anybody. Whereas Trundle, again, being another champion that just...
flashing from Samuel to counter engage from the Kron, trying to do what he can. Gummy Bull's going to get hit by the ultimate, though. He's burning super low. So much damage on him. Sonic TP'd in, and they find themselves 2 kills, and with the wave to boot, they should be trying to force down this tower. Amp answering with a Herald, but this is still a pretty big deal for TPR, getting that early tempo with the tower.
Yeah, and this will be first tower, too, so it was split between 4 members, which is not the best, but... they are still getting that lead, and they're going to be going for this next Dragon, too, which is also another Infernal. So, I mean, they're on their way to get double Infernals really early on in the game.
Yeah, and they are a very damage-heavy comp, right? Renekton, Kai'Sa, Irelia, hell, even Leona, in terms of supports, is a fairly damage-heavy one. Amper trying to take them away from that, but a nice stun from the Irelia. Gonna find a ray onto Bliss. He's dead already, but the fear beyond death, this could be pretty big. Why did he flash out? He could have gotten a huge fear. Now Awu is gonna be trying to chase him down. Next up is the Vladimir, though, a double kill for 15 and Virgin, and he's 4-0-0 right now, having a hell of a game for himself.
Yeah, while he did flash out after that kill, honestly, I think it was the better choice. Even if he did get the 4-man fear, there was not enough damage on the side of those 2 champions that were going to be able to really 2v4, so...
my thought would have been if he got the 4-man fear and then flashed out, then maybe a Carcion would have had time to run away.
Yeah, maybe, but I think Carcion was just in a much worse spot than he was. I mean, he was stuck at the Wraith Pit, whereas Spooter was on the other side of the wall, so, I mean, he just ran straight, whereas a Carcion would have had a much further route to run.
Still, I mean, the extra fear time could have saved him. We won't know, though, because it didn't happen, but that is the Infernal going over to TPR, now with almost a 6k gold lead. This is looking very, very dire. Quick update on the CS differentials. Almost... yeah, about a 40 CS lead in the mid lane. We've got another 40 CS lead almost in the bot lane. They are just crushing it in terms of farm. This Renekton versus Urgot matchup, while not necessarily the best of matchups for Renekton, still not going too badly for him. Only 10 CS down, but he has that kill participation to make up for it.
Yeah, but like we were talking about before, too, while it is Renekton and Urgot, and he doesn't really take too many good trades into that, they are still at least sending OG Prism up there, so he is getting help from the jungler to really be able to just kind of smash the lane and not have to really worry about being worried about getting killed by the Urgot, because generally Prism will be right behind him. So, whereas Bliss just really has not been able to do anything in this game. He's just been stuck in his jungle and even getting invaded a couple times in his jungle by both Sonic and Virgin.
Yeah. Yep. Sonic is going to start taking some trades versus Spoder. He actually has a pretty decent advantage. He might be able to start winning fights, but didn't do his combo too well. He does have the ultimate out just to make sure he stays alive.
Yeah, unfortunately, not having enough rage stacked up to really get that damage off that Renekton needs. So having to burn the ult a little bit early. But he is fine. Ult's not too long of a cooldown. His ult is currently a 83-second cooldown, so I mean it's not terrible.
Yeah, it basically means as long as he doesn't get immediately engaged on, it should be back up for whenever the next thing happens. Especially since neither him nor Urgot have TP. This big top lane play that looks like it's about to happen, neither of them's going to be part of it, so that ult missing, not really a big deal.
Also, for the over-under vote, we were under. It was not 10 kills by 10. Was it 10 minutes or were we
15.
over? No.
It
was 15,
yes.
so we were over.
It was
so
11
we
points.
were
Yep.
over.
Yeah, I already submitted it.
Oh, you were?
Yep.
Okay, I didn't see if you submitted it or not.
Yep, and that is going to be second tower going over 50 with a huge double stun of the Zenith Blade to boot. There's the ultimate from Xayah, but she's still going to fall down. No Starso trying to run, but 15's going to flash and get another double kill for himself. 6-0 on the Aurelia. This pick should never have made it through the ban phase.
Yeah, Aurelia being probably one of the top champions that are banned against him. The fact they let him get it is just insane, and he is just face-rolling Amp right now. And again, here we are seeing why the fast game is obviously better than the slow game. While generally Amp is much more known for their fast games, it seems like TPR picked the better fast champs this time.
Yeah, Sonic is getting ran down by Spoder. Fear Beyond Death going to miss, so he's not going to get the extra slow for that. Just going to let Sonic just walk on out of there. Did have to burn Flash.
Yeah, but for him, it's not that bad because, again, being Renekton, your job, at least right now, is pretty much just to be that annoyance in the bot lane or top lane, wherever they end up sending him. So it doesn't seem like they're really using him too much right now for team fights, other than the few that he teleported down to.
Oh, man, Akarsian looking like he might get solo killed again. 15, though, just going to use the Ignite and waltz on out of there. Now possibly looking for the turret, but did draw aggro with that Ignite.
Yeah,
Starstro, though, oh my god, he tried to go in for an engage and just gets destroyed.
That was a bit of an interesting path there. I don't know if he thought his team was closer, if he thought maybe the tower was in more danger than it actually was, but yeah, just kind of making an unnecessary mistake there.
Yeah.
Wing in and then just getting hard CC'd and instantly killed, just handing over another kill to Aurelia. She's 7-0 right now.
Yeah,
she is a monster.
7-0, 50 CS up at the moment. Just absolutely popping off, landing pretty much every single stun that he throws out. I have yet to see him like miss 2. I think I've only seen him miss 1. So this is looking like Spoder is going to get engaged on. Dominance has been used by Sonic Abs, and Soulflare going to stun up with the Zenith Blade. Everything's landing. He's going down. And it's going to be a 5th tower for TPR as they just are running over Amp right now.
Yeah, and that is just, again, another really great dive with Sonic being able to take aggro as the rest of TPR came. I'm actually even looking at it, rather than Kaisa, pretty much the rest of their whole team is actually fairly tanky. So really, they could have anybody tank and get dives off and not have to worry about anyone dying. And again, looking at the side of Amp, they just do not have any CC. Their only CC is on Xayah's Recall Blades, and then also on Nezumi. Like, and then I guess Urgot if he lands his E, but like there's no CC. It's just all damage.
The reliable CC really only there from Starstro, and not to mention he's gonna have a hard time even getting that off because Leona is touted as the recon counterpick. He jumps in, all she has to do is activate W and auto attack him. Right, that stops him from getting the knockup. And so as long as she isn't charmed, he has no way to even get his engage off.
And even if she is charmed, like, if she has the Q pre-procced when he charms, like, he's still going to get auto-attacked. And same with Renekton. Renekton also has this auto-attack stun, so he procs W. If he charms him, he's double stunned, so...
Don't think you can auto-attack while charmed. It doesn't work like a taunt. It's like a taunt where you can't cast spell, where you can't auto-attack.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess in that sense, then yeah, it wouldn't really work. But still,
Yeah, because it's supposed to be they charm you into loving them, so you wouldn't beat the
yeah,
shit out of them. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely it's a very hard comp for Amp to really pull off, right? They don't, like you're saying, they don't have a whole lot of engage. Their lanes, they didn't even have winning lanes beside topside, and Bliss didn't camp up there. He didn't get a whole lot of vision control. He tried playing around bot side to help this sub squad, and they just still got ran down because OG Prism was down there consistently making sure to watch out for his own team. And because they stuck around so long with that red buff and even gave Awu and Samuel that early lane control, it all started off of that, right?
yeah. Yeah, they didn't hit level 2 as fast as TPR did, and then on top of that, they just ended up getting the kill right away.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty early fight, though. 15 version. He's going to try and get in a nice 4-man ult, but here comes a freebie on death. It's going to land the fear. 15's burning real low. How many kills is he able to find? He gets one. Starstro is going to be the next on the chopping block. He goes down. A nice Zenith blade into the stun for 15. He's still alive. He's going forward. He gets finally killed. The shutdown to Bliss is now a Carcion trying to get work done with the Hemoplague. Samuel LP is out of the fight. He's too low. Now OG Prism still trying to chase down a Carcion. He's getting real low, but still goes over to Kaiser. A double kill for him, and it's going to be a 4-for-2 in TPR's favor. Looking like he wants to finish it off. Bliss getting low. The Void Seeker not going to land, but the Killing Instinct is on, and he goes down. That should be a Baron! Or they could end. I'm not sure what, but it looks like they want to go for the base instead of the Baron.
I don't think they can end it. They're definitely going to get an inhib. I guess they're going to go for double tower, possibly double inhib, and then Baron, or even one inhib, tower, Baron. But it is interesting they didn't decide to go for the Baron there, especially after having pretty much everybody except for Renekton up. And then he just shortly came off a spawn. And they're actually not even going to go for the inhib there.
Yeah, they didn't. It didn't seem like they were paying attention to those respawn timers, because they definitely could have ran towards that Baron side. Even though Sedge doesn't have 3k health to get that Warmog's healing passive, they still easily could have taken the Baron, and they thought, we just got an ace, pretty much. We can go and clear the base. Gummy Balls and Starstro are so far behind. You kill them and they respawn in the next 10 seconds, essentially, right? So they were able to get up and clear that wave. It's actually a godsend that they're so far down right now that they were able to respawn and save that base because of the play that TPR decided to try and make.
Yeah, and again, looking at all the levels, too, I mean, you see the levels of TPR compared to the levels of AMP. They're almost all 2 levels ahead, except for Spooter being only 1 level behind, and then also the jungle being even. But I mean, they're really far behind, not only in items. I mean, Aurelia has 2 items. Kaisa surprisingly only has 1.5 items, which is, I'm not sure what she's really going for. Is Morello's standard?
It looks like a Morello's. I think he wants to try and cut down the healing from a Carcion. It's definitely not standard. You typically see a Nashor's Tooth, or maybe even like a Banshee's Veil, but still, I think they're so far ahead, he's able to get this kind of neutralizing build where he wants to make sure that Vladimir and Trundle both can't heal up at all in these fights, because he's relying so much on the rest of his team anyways, right? He's like, look, I don't need to be this heavy sustained DPS carry because we've got the Aurelia that's 9-1. We've got Sonic Abs who's going to walk in and one-shot the backline. We've got enough lockdown that I can feel confident just making sure that the enemy team can't survive what kind of damage we're about to put out.
Yeah, and looks like he is going for the Nashers next, and did end up going for that Morello's, like you were saying, so...
Yep.
Definitely going to be putting out the anti-healing that AMP already have so little of, other than, I guess, Vladimir. If he does start getting his items, his healing can be a little bit obnoxious, but looks like they are finally going to go for Baron. Should be pretty free, as I don't even think AMP really acknowledges. I think they know, but they can't decide of whether or not they should contest.
Yeah, they know, but they don't have any vision in here. This is when I wish I had hotkeys set up for Fog of War, because I would definitely swap to that. So they are going to just give it over. They know they can't engage because they don't know where Leona is. They don't know where this Aurelia is, and it looks like they might still get caught out as the Killing Instinct's in from Abu. A nice Soul Flare onto Bliss, but oh my god, Starstro not going to land his engage. A little bit of a miss ult there from Sejuani, but they're still managing to find the fight. Spoderon going to get brought down even with the nice blade color, but here comes 15. Almost finds the stun, but it doesn't matter. He's got too much damage. Sonic finds himself a double kill in this fight, and with the Baron, all they need is a couple of minions, and they might be able to look for this end. They're going to be moving bot side.
Yeah, it looks like instead of going mid, since they don't have a wave yet, it looks like they're just going to go for the wave. They're going to let mid push, and they should still be able to get both of these inhibs. Kind of interesting that Bliss is even really contesting Virgin right now. Yeah. I'm pretty sure if he walks up and gets stunned, he just dies. because he does not have anything. I mean, he was even forced to go Zeke's, and they're actually just going to go for the base.
Yeah, they're going to try and go for it. Looks like we might see one more fight coming out. Sonic App's getting real low, but he still manages to find himself alive. Finally gets shut down by a Carcion, but now he's going to fall. TPR backing off from the turret, but it looks like they might want to try and go for something, but the Fear Beyond Death lands onto Samuel, so he's going to get killed. Now Prism, he is caught out, but he's going to go back. A nice double stun from 15. They're going back in. Awu, low on mana, but that doesn't matter because he is an auto-attack-based champion. He's going forward. Oh my god,
goodness.
15. You are so freaking fat. You're going to find the kills. That's an ace. And it
Literally-
looks like they can finally end. Maybe. I've said it 3 times already. When is it going to happen?
They literally just needed Sterex to proc, and that was enough to keep him alive that entire fight. That is just ridiculous.
Yeah,
How
and
strong he is right now.
Starstro is finally back up. Akarsian is going to be back up in 8 seconds, but I think Awu and
Yeah,
15 can just focus down these turrets, get this last hit onto the Nexus. That is going to be TPR
Awu
taking game 1 versus Amp in the semifinals.
And that was a face roll if I've ever seen one.
Looking
On the
like
side of
C9
TPR.
versus Afrika out here. You got to play
Wait,
that
wait.
high tempo game, and you've got to play it well.
The only thing I will say is that at least they did not run it down like Afrika did in both first games. Like they were at least just dying because of poor misplays, and then eventually falling behind. It wasn't just, oh, here, let me just stay in lane against a person that's stronger than me and clearly still take bad trades and then die.
Yeah, 23,000 damage for Relay. Almost at 1,000 damage a minute, which for a 25-minute game is very rare. Normally you see people around the
Yeah.
damage mark that this like Kai'Sa has, right? 16. That's a fairly standard damage number for a 25-minute game.
1,000 is actually ridiculously high.
Yeah, you don't normally see that till around like 35, 40 minutes.
Yeah,
But that is,
especially for a 25-minute game.
oh my god, that game was absolutely crazy. All right, what are you thinking for MVP of this game?
Definitely 15. I think 15 was just insane. Once he got that lead, he literally just ran over Amp with it. His stuns were insane. His ulti placements, the one that he did land, were insane. And like, especially like even Prism, like both him and Prism did a very good job at getting all these engages off.
Yeah.
And then just basically chain CCing everybody. I mean, even when if it wasn't the ganks, it was the invades. I mean, they invaded Bliss at his red, and then they also invaded Bliss at his blue.
Yeah.
I mean, he was
They
totally
tracked
shut down.
they tracked Bliss really well and always made sure that when Bliss went for those aggressive invades onto like the Raptor pit, that he was gonna get punished for it, right? And he did it a couple times and ended up dying. And and as well Prism, right? Bliss was going bot lane. Prism was always there, right? Everything that Bliss tried to do, Prism was there to counter, and it was just really well done from Prism. But like you were saying, 15, always landing the stuns, the solo kills, every single fight he popped off on, only 1 death, almost 1,000 damage 1,000 damage per minute. Definitely the star player of this game.
Yeah. Game 2, yay! It'll definitely be interesting though to see how Amp readjust. Trundle definitely not being the pick to go for against this tank meta. While it is still tank meta, and while Trundle can do well, I think against the amount of CC that they had, it didn't matter if they were a tank and Trundle could lifesteal off them.
Yeah,
Like he was just perma stun by all the CC.
I was honestly surprised that he didn't go for something like the Gragas, just because I know Trundle is considered a counterpick to Sejuani because of his ultimate, how it interacts with her passive, but again, Trundle got nerfed. He's not a proactive jungler anymore, right? Something like a Gragas could get those early prayer boots and try and make a little bit more impact on the map, because that pillar did absolutely nothing for him in any of those ganks, and it really just gave no power over to Amp in that game.
Yeah. Looks like they're gonna choose red side too again.
Yeah, most teams have been choosing blue side, so it's interesting to see them pick red side. It is Um, it's a pretty strong side. I think it's got a lot of power, especially at this elo where, maybe the super power picks like, Kai'Sa and Urgot aren't as powerful as they are in pro play. If you can get two power picks as opposed to just one super power pick on the red side, I think it's very, very valuable. And you also get counter pick, which is a really big deal for 15.
Yeah, and the fact that they left that Aurelia open too, I'm actually surprised that they even did still go for that right away. Because it has been quite a long time since we've seen him on the Aurelia, and I think there has been a couple times when it wasn't open that they didn't go for it, but leaving it open and immediately seed why. You do not leave comfort champions open, which seems to be the story of this league. You see champions that, while might not generally be strong, are still comfort champions, and then you don't ban those comfort champions, and then those people smash. That seems to be the theme. It happened against RPT, and now it's happening against AMP. So we'll have to see what kind of adjustments they make, if they do end up banning the Aurelia or not.
Yep. Hey, thanks for the follow, Shu.
But the other question is too is, I guess, do you double ban AD carry, or do you ban other picks? Because obviously Twitch is no longer AWU's like best AD carry. I mean, he also played out of his mind on that
He
Kai'Sa.
does good on the Kai'Sa. I still think you have to respect the Twitch and say maybe we can find something that can beat the Kai'Sa in lane if they can get their bottom lane rolling. I think at this point it might be more so that their sub bottom lane just isn't going to be able to do a whole lot, and they might just need to pick something casual down there, right? Not like a Zyricon that's looking to make big plays, but maybe something more along the lines of maybe first picking the Kai'Sa, getting a Braum or something for themselves. That way they can just have this late game scaling bottom lane and try and play through Spoderwan, right? He's the all-star top laner for the league. Still did really good against Sonic. If they can put pressure up there and make it so Sonic can't make plays towards the bottom side, I think that's going to be Amp's best bet here. It really depends, though, on if Nezumi comes back, because I don't know where he's at right now.
Yeah. Because Nezumi, not having him, definitely, you could tell a difference in the bot lane styles.
Oh, yeah. There is a big difference. And Vey as well. Vey is currently in Jamaica and cannot play. So they
He can play in Jamaica.
I don't know. He said he couldn't. So Amp right now
well,
are definitely hurting.
It's not that he couldn't, but to be honest, if I was him, I wouldn't want to play either. If I'm in Jamaica,
Right. If I'm in
like,
Jamaica,
yeah!
look, I want to be eating. Do they eat kebabs in Jamaica? What do they eat in Jamaica?
They do have stuff like kebabs. It's mostly like, I guess like lively food.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Stuff that's known to like make you happy.
Yeah, like squirrel on a stick or something. I don't know, but
I don't know what that.